Yeah, so your air baffle setting, you're going to set based on your seed rate. So these columns here, it doesn't necessarily correlate to your meter setting. It's really all about pounds per acre.
Okay.
So when you're running the 11 flute meter, which we've got in here right now, um, for 0 to 14 pounds per acre, you're going to set this to 3. For, is it 15 to 38 pounds, you set it to 4, and anything over 39 pounds, you're just going to open it right up. So the numbers on here, you can use your meter tool to loosen the lock screw at the top there. And then basically you're just sliding this air baffle to the different settings. These are numbered 1 through 4. So all the way towards the meter is closed, and then a setting of 1, you're aligning this edge with the points of the triangles there. Setting of 2, you're aligning that edge, 3, 4, and then wide open. So today we're going to be doing the nitro boost at, we're going to go wide open basically right to 60 pounds an acre. So we're just going to leave this wide open for the nitro.
4 open. Got it. Let's more air in.
Yep, and it's just compensating. You've got 60 pounds an acre. There's a lot more volume, a massive seed falling into that airstream. You need more air, more velocity to get it to spread the full width of the tube.
Okay.
So as far as the drop tube, the key to it is getting enough air for the seed to get all the way to the ends. Once you achieve that, just the natural way the world works with random chaos theory, I guess.
Yep.
You get even spread out the bottom of the tube. So the whole key there is just the right air speed to get what you're planning out to the ends, and that's what this table and tens of thousands of tests have shown. Those are the settings you need based on your seed rate. So, and it is slightly different if you're running the 8 flute meter. On the other side, the table's got the air baffle settings are a little bit different, just because the species you'd be running with that smaller meter
a lot smaller seeds.
Are a lot different density. They're smaller, but they're actually more dense.
Okay.
So it does change how you set that a little bit, but that's all right here as well. So
awesome.
Good to go. That's it.
So that just has to be hand tightened down, that nut.
Yeah, so I mean, this is your seed rate adjustment.
Gotcha. Yep.
So you should only ever have to turn this by hand. I would never, if it won't go in at some point, and all this is in the instruction manual.
Okay.
If you ever get to a point say, okay, we're gonna do something, we're gonna set it to 4. So what you can do is just push it in by hand, and just make quick, easy adjustments. But if you ever push it in and it doesn't want to go, it's probably maybe there's a seed or something jammed in there.
Okay.
I would never put a wrench on this to force it in. You should be able to just turn it by hand.
That's
if
good
not,
advice.
Take it out and look and see if there's something stuck in there. But
that's good advice for sure. Don't force it.
Yeah, just don't force it. But.
And so we were on right now. Then we're on 24.
Yeah, so we're gonna open it wide, wide open. So again, I do this a lot. You just hold your thumb on there to take the pressure off, and makes that pretty quick. So yeah, for 24, I like to start in and then just bring it out until this just pops in. So it's a little bit sticky because it hasn't been broken in. Right there.
Cool.
There's 24.
That's easy.
So now let's say you wanted to go to 22. So at this point you're at 24. You can just tighten it, 2 turns.
2 full turns?
2 full turns. So just this yellow dot, just get it back. So it's 1 turn, 2 turns. And then if you get really crazy with stuff, I mean, you can figure out, this is all linear. So it's always going to be, so for nitro, we're 15.5 and then 17.9. So that's 2.4 pounds difference per turn. So that's all the way out. I mean, it's 2.4 pounds per turn for that seed species.
That makes sense.
So if you're at the 58.8, let's say, well, I really want to get to, 56. So that's 2.8 pounds less, it's 2.4 per turn. You could just tighten it 1 turn. And if you really want to get crazy, you could get your calculator out and say, okay, I need to tighten it 2.2 turns. And if you do that, there are these little notches out here
Yeah.
are in 10th. So
Wow.
there's 10 notches. So you could be like, okay, I need to go 0.2 in from where I am. So you can go, you know, that's 1, 2, use that. And that just helps too. Like, again, it depends how
it's so accurate.
crazy you want to get with it.
Well, if you're doing, 10 acres or something, you're buying 10 acres worth of alfalfa seed, that can get expensive.
Well,
so you
yeah,
kind of want to
I
make
mean,
sure it's...
that's the thing. And what I find myself doing a lot is like, I'll see, you know, I've got some seed left over from something. I got like 6.5 pounds of seed. I have my half-acre plot out here. I might as well put it down. It's not doing me any good on the shelf. So I can just, 6.5 divided by 0.5, so I need 13 pounds an acre. I can set it to 13, dump that seed in, and, cover my half-acre, and
Perfect.
it runs out of seed right at the end of the field, and you're like, yeah, perfect. So I do that. I find myself doing that kind of stuff all the time. So.
Beautiful.
All right, so we're gonna put it back to 24. Sorry, got sidetracked there. Sometimes, yeah, if I overshoot like I just did there. If you're not holding this like perfectly straight, it's always fine too, just to kind of. You just want it. You don't want it like tight on there, but just so it's kind of snug, no slop. So there's 24. And you can, I mean, if you ever lost this, which
That's why you made a good clip for it.
Keeping it on there, but if you do lose that, you can always, you don't need that, it's just to save time. You can literally just push it all the way in, run the nut down, and then just count the turns of the nut. Just, count 24 turns, take forever, so the gauge helps you save time there.
It's going to be pretty easy for me, considering I'll be planting mostly one type of seed, or a couple types of seed, but switchgrass, maybe doing some of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think the next biggest thing I use this for is just switch.
Really?
That seed's expensive, and I tend to always be planting it in strips.
Yeah.
Like narrow, like it's 5 foot wide, so if I do a 2-pass strip, I got a 10-foot strip of switch, and I know all my seeds right in that 10 feet, and not spraying any past the edges,
I'd love a nice 10-foot strip along that road out there.
Yeah. That would be perfect.
That's what I'm going to use it for.
Yeah. Cool.
Great.
All right, so we got the meter set. We can do a quick calibration just to see kind of where we're actually at.
Okay.
If you want to
fill her up.
Load some seed in there. 25 turns of the wheel, catch the seed and weigh it. 25.
You've done it a few times.
Alright. Some grams. Alright. 254 and 4.43.
57.3 pounds per acre. It took what? A minute to check.
Yeah, so now you know for sure exactly what you're going to be putting down out there.
Okay.
And that helps you next year. You're like, should have maybe gone a little lighter and more heavier.
Right.
Or whatever.
We'll probably get a little more seed in here too.
All right. So yeah, at this point, we'll just flip this guy up. And one thing, when this is lifted up, this is going to lock that wheel.
Okay.
So that, because at this point, anytime that wheel turns, it's going to be dropping seed.
Yep.
So when we put it all the way up, it'll lock that.
Oh, okay.
Drive through a bunch of brush or something.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You're not going to be just dumping seed on the ground on the way to your feed plot.
Yep. If you're not on the rotor. Perfect.
And then on the control, one thing too, like there is that center position where I had it just now to do the calibration. That's really the only time you ever need that center position. You can leave this, like it's all the way to lift right now. Just the limit switches.
Pushing the whole time.
No, there's limit switches in the activated. It's not drawing power. And the same thing when you use seed, obviously it has to be a seed for the blower, and so you don't know all the time that you're seeding. But yeah, Yeah, otherwise I would always leave it in lift in the time. Like I said, you move that center, because that'll basically just stop the actuator mid-stroke and also turn off the motor for doing calibration. Otherwise I just leave it.
Got it. I'm sure it says that in the manual too.
It does. Saving you 16 pages of reading.
No, I appreciate that because I probably won't read it, so that's great.
Alright, so yeah, we'll just throw the tube on and we're ready to go plant. Alright.
Good.
Good to go. So yeah, as far as planting, I mean, you kind of want to see
Your tire tracks and then.
yeah, where your tube is relative to your tire track, and you're
Okay.
basically going to be lining up your passes. On this nice kind of square field, I would just do a tighter and tighter spiral.
Okay, good idea.
You know, one nice thing with this versus say a drill you can't turn it sharp. You got all that stuff in the ground, you can tear it up. This, it's light enough. You know, we'll just kind of be skidding
The
sideways
journal
on that
kind of
tire.
setup. Yeah, cool.
And it's light enough; it's not going to hurt anything. So that
Oh, we'll
actually
see if I
saves
can
a lot of
screw it
time,
up.
but-
You haven't seen me drive yet.
So yeah, you're just gonna spiral
Okay.
in and in.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like yeah, you're probably gonna want to be maybe 2 feet, you know, from tire track to tire track.
Okay. Yeah, so like a foot on each side, and then it adds up 2 feet between the tracks.
Right.
Okay. So, seed when I'm out there and go.
Yeah. So you get to the edge of your field.
Yep.
Flip that seed. And, you know, any speed you want. I mean, I like 6 miles an hour is usually a comfortable speed. I don't think you do that speedometer, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, that ground wheel is gonna compensate. Put the same amount of seed down no matter how fast you're going.
Yes, sir. That is true. All right. Get the thing done.
So yeah, Jared, as soon as that wheel touches the ground, you can go. But when you stop, you do want to come to a complete stop before you switch it on seat.
Okay.
As soon as you slip this out, the motor's going to shut off, and it's still rolling.
Right next to the corner.
It's still going to be dropping seed.
Oh. Stop and then.
When you are stopping to lift it, come to a complete stop before you put the switch. That's the only one.
And with how many pounds of seed we have in there, I think we got about 20 in there. I'm curious to see how long that's going.
Yeah, I mean, this is a third of an acre. That should just about do it. Keep an eye on it for you, but
Alright.
yeah.
What do you need, Doug? What do you need?